with you. If you guys ever watch the fights, it's the person that lands the sucker punch that usually wins. Don't be that guy. Don't be.
By the
You
way,
have to be ready for that.
That doesn't really.
You have to
I
be
guess
ready.
that works on most people. Did we talk about it on the show where I got sucker punched at a concert and it didn't even make me turn my head?
Right? No, that's the only time I've ever been hit was through a sucker punch, and sometimes those failed. That's
They
why.
failed
Look
bad.
at
Like they
to
didn't
all
know
the
how to punch,
dads.
and I broke his hand in the process.
I believe if you teach your kids how to box and wrestle, your kid will be fine. Look at the wrestling is to when they try to take you down to have a defense against that. But the fight's only gonna end when you land the punch to the person's nose or jaw. That's the only way this fight ends. Look at I will never in my life see a arm lock end a fight in the parking lot of the Raiders Stadium.
Oh, I wouldn't arm lock anybody.
I'm never gonna see a guillotine choke.
I would twist somebody's head
No,
off.
Lee, their friend are gonna kick you in the fucking head. Listen, if you're ever trying to break my cousin's arm, or you're trying to choke one of my family members until he falls asleep,
your family member.
I'm gonna kick you in your head. You're gonna get odd. I don't see that working, man. But when people know how to fight, when you know how to stay on your feet, stay in a defensive mode, but land counters, land combos, you can kick 3 guys' asses at one time. They can never get close to you. You see what I'm saying? But in the other world, now let me take this. If I'm in the jungle, Lee, if I'm fighting, if it's just me and the other guy, then yes, I want to know MMA. Because MMA, you know what, man? That is the type of fighting you do to save your life. That's one-on-one. This guy's choking me. I'm going to start choking him type of shit. But when you're in the bathroom of a football game or a parking lot or a mall or a gang is about to jump you, trust me, dude, getting on the ground is not where you want to be. You want to be on your feet. You want to be able to defend yourself and land punches at the same time until somebody can break it up. Your whole thing about defense on the street is surviving. It's not being a superhero and knocking out 15 dudes. That's what you're self-defense.
But that's what I do.
Yeah, I know. That's a lot of these guys who want to turn into MMA guys and think they're going to pick people up and body slam them. Stop it.
And I'm sure there are people listening going, Lee, you're full of shit. No, there's video.
Yeah, no.
I've jumped crowds. I get that. I just think it's who is crazy.
And let me bring it back now. And this is why
I think. Back to Katie Taylor. Yes.
This is why I think boxing and women's combat sports is on a rise.
She's not very hot.
This is why I think it's on a rise, and this is why I think it's good.
To this show, isn't she? She does.
Yes, of course.
There's reports that go back to her. He's behaving, by the way.
And I believe it's a good thing because dads most of the time think of their little girls as princesses, beautiful girls.
I taught my daughter how to choke someone out. No, there's no, because I've always assumed that the only thing that could happen to my daughter is somebody trying to take her.
Yeah, hey, if someone.
So the first thing I taught her to do was, here's how you put an arm around somebody who's taking you, because they're going to throw you over their shoulder and they're going to run.
I told my daughter a long time ago, if she's ever in a situation where she don't think she's coming back, she must rip the man's ear off. She got to give me something to identify this person with. So fuck a chokehold.
Well,
you pick up my girl and you're running.
You got to put a tracker on your daughter.
She's going to fucking rip your ear off. I'm sorry. Your ear is coming off.
Well, now mine's 12 and...
Tell her.
I got a tracker on
the front chokehold is a good move for girls to know. The front chokehold could save them in a certain situation.
Yeah, if you know a guillotine, you're in the game. Yeah. Just make sure to turn your forearm up. Okay.
Back to boxing.
So, back to Katie Taylor. So after Katie Taylor, we had Derek Chisora and Dylan White.
Yeah. Oh, what happened in that one? That was the table throwing fight. I didn't even see it, Lee. What happened in that fight?
It's like a no decision, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It literally turned into a no decision. So these guys talk a big game.
What the hell happened?
The fight was originally set. The WBC sanctioned the fight as an eliminator, but White have
Chisoria threw a table at the
came out. Yeah. But he came out like he meant business, throwing hard punches. White came back. White was looking to land. I mean, by the time it was all settled, the final scorecards, where are we? There was a little left in Chisora's tank, starting the 12th. White also running on empty. Both rocked each other with big shots. Chisora seemed to rock White. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. It doesn't seem like it really went anywhere. Final scores were this. 115, 114, 115, 113, 115, 114.
For who?
Okay, so here it is. 115, 114 Chisora. Oh, it's majority decision for White.
All right.
15, 13 for White, 115, 114 for White. There you go.
Well, Chisora should have knew he was going to lose this fight. Look, it's been reported that they're going to ban him for 2 years for throwing this table.
He made that London card way more interesting than it actually should.
Yeah, but you can't throw tables, Lee. And it's a big table. He didn't just throw like a little coffee table.
No, he threw it like the big
Yeah, like, come on, dude. What are you doing right now?
He one-upped Conor. No doubt about it. He definitely.
Yeah, it wasn't a water bottle. Yeah.
Conor McGregor gets a lifetime ban from Vegas for throwing a water bottle. Hey, fuck that. I'm picking up a whole table.
Yeah. Hey, I like they did the little memes where it's him looking at the mirror, the Kermit Frog. Have you seen those Kermit Frog memes that they do where it says what you're thinking and then when your inner person is thinking? For Chris Cherio, how do you say his last name? Chisoria. There you go. Chisoria. It was all him. Don't throw the table. Then his inner me, throw the fucking table.
Yeah, of course. Which takes you to the main event. It was actually Chisora, then the chick, then the main event of the evening.
Boom, baby.
Anthony Joshua versus Eric Molina, where not a seat was to be had at the O2 Arena. This guy literally sold out the O2 Arena, fighting, knowing full well that he was fighting at the end of April against Klitschko. Yep. He's literally having a tune-up fight against Eric Molina. Again, another guy who just looks so I couldn't even believe Eric Molina. Another fat guy showed up to the fight.
Hey, you trained the hardest training camp of his life.
Here's where I tuned out. Literally, here's where I tuned out. Yeah, Eric Molina is so excited because he was able to quit his day job. What?
You turned it off.
I actually rewound it. Shit. I rewound it. And then during the fight, Lampley brought it up again that Molina was able to quit his day job as a teacher. And here is my exact thought. So your tune-up fight is a guy who was not even completely committed to boxing.
And this is going to come into play later in HBO's broadcast too, but we'll stay here. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Lee.
That's shocking. That's shock. I've physically been to Julio Cesar Chavez senior fights where he was fighting taxi cab drivers. Literally, this is a dude from Tijuana with, 40 wins and 640 losses, right?
Pro debut.
People don't know that about Chavez.
There's a few.
Used to fight at the Hilton against literal nobody.
Hey, there's a few pro debuts in there too, Lee.
There are a few but here's the thing. I make no bones about it. You're there because you want to sit up close and watch Chavez put the dude out. That's why you're there, because you want to see history, right? All I kept thinking was, why is it taking Joshua so long? And HBO's backing it up. Yeah, you don't want to do anything stupid. Molina's got a puncher's chance. No, he doesn't. He might hurt his arm from using a piece of chalk. I mean, that's all there. He's a fucking teacher. He's a goddamn... you couldn't find a real boxer. You got a guy... I'm trying real hard, Joshua, and look,
he did what he was supposed to, Lee.
Wait, let me be much respect to Anthony Joshua and Chisora for selling out the O2 Arena. I personally think it was Chisora tossing a table that probably sold out the event, and not Joshua fighting Molina. But Eddie Hearn stacked the card. Right? Yeah. He put on a lot of stuff.
Scott Quigg was on there too. He's another.
Yeah, Scott Quigg's on the undercard. Yeah. They're stacking the crap out of that card, right? Quigg gets a win. You got the Chisora White fiasco. You got the Irish Broad. Eddie Hearn stacked it straight up. Brilliant move.
Brilliant.
By the way,
brilliant. Lee, let me tell you, here in America,
everybody fighting shit fight.
Lee, here in America, the average fan that went through Showtime and caught that card, they know nothing of what you just said about Scott Quigg or Chris Chisoria on the undercard. They don't know that. So right now they're looking at Anthony Joshua and they're like, damn, this guy's a superstar over here. Oh, wait, he's going to fight Klitschko? Yeah. Guess who's tuning in? Guess who's tuning in?
Right. And that's what this is all about. HBO literally is...
Or HBO, excuse me. I said Showtime.
Yeah, it was HBO who literally stuck their tongue up. Again, HBO, back off from tonguing the ass.
Wait, Lee, you got it wrong. Damn it. Showtime. That was on Showtime. The Ruiz versus Parker was on HBO.
Oh, you're right. Yes. You're right. No.
Yes.
Just other way around.
No, it's not. Just stick with what I'm saying, bro. Joshua versus Molina was on Showtime. Parker versus Ruiz was on HBO. That's how it went, Lee. Anyways, you're right on
whatever. They're all the B-roll. It doesn't really matter. I mean, everybody was going off all night. Yeah, I watched it. I get Anthony Joshua, and here's what he looks like. He's a British Evander Holyfield. I get it. I get what you have.
I like that.
I get exactly what you have. But I've watched a couple of his fights now, and then I watched the package, and I watched the package before that, and then I watched the Breazeale fight, which they played before that because it took so long to start the
fight. Lee, I started thinking I wasn't even watching the fight.
I know. 3:30 in the afternoon, and we were watching all that horseshit.
You're watching Deontay Wilder talk about Anthony Joshua. I hope he can get a little bit more head movement. Fool, I hope you start blinking. What the hell? You don't start talking about another man's flaws when you
flinch. Here's what I've learned about this. Is the first time I've actually paid it. Yeah, it was Showtime. And here's what my impression of Showtime is. You got to get rid of Paul Malignaggi.
Right.
You got to get rid of him. I've never heard anybody talk about themselves that much. I talk about myself a lot because I'm my favorite subject, but Paul Malignaggi dwarfs me.
And you can throw Roy Jones in there for HBO. You could throw Roy brings nothing to the telecast for HBO.
No, you know what Roy's job is, legitimately? It's to check Max Kellerman. Because Max will fucking tongue lick whoever he's into.
Right.
And you will hear, and I heard it on the telecast last night from HBO many times, where straight out of Roy's mouth, I disagree with you, Max. That is not what's happening here. He's got a puncher's chance. And if he gets stupid, Molina's going to catch him. He's fighting the right fight. I think he should press the action. Yeah, okay, that's what you think.
Well, I was with Max though
last night. I don't want to I have weird observations from all the fights. Look, Paul Malignaggi got to go. Got to go, bro. I would rather listen to Deontay Wilder. At least he's somewhat respectful.
But he's not fighting anyone. No, screw that.
By the way,
Anthony Joshua has signed to fight Klitschko. Anthony Joshua came out of he didn't come out of nowhere, but he's so young. Fucking Deontay's been here for how many years? How many years have he was what, 32-0-32 when he fought for the belt? Don't talk about Anthony Joshua when you've been on the sideline hiding behind your manager's skirt for a hell of a long time about, I want to fight everyone.
No, but he said it. He was being honest. I was trying to get rounds. He talked about it because they were talking about Joshua getting rounds.
Hey, you know what?
No, it came up during the
telecast. Anthony Joshua did what he was supposed to. 3 rounds. That's your getting in rounds with the taxi cab driver. Okay, it ain't no 9-round fight.
It wasn't even a taxi cab driver, dude. That's just some guy they pulled off the street, man. He beat up a school teacher. I already see the headline of this show. He beat up a school teacher.
But he still did what he was
What's
supposed
the name of the
to.
episode? He beat up a school teacher.
I agree with to a certain extent, but darn it, that's what you're supposed to make school teachers look like. Not 9 rounds. Not, I'm trying to put in work for what? You're in boxing, it's better to look special than to put in work. You have a workman-like victory.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's turn and talk about some of the other fights now that we've got all the B-roll out of the way. Let us go now